The Wrestling Mayhem Show. Since 2006, the pioneer in pro wrestling podcasting.
This show is brought to you by IndieWrestling.us and IndieWrestling.network for your independent wrestling entertainment. Slice on Broadway, supporting Pittsburgh podcasting with the perfect pepperoni pizza.
Just wait. Wait for the perfect time, then attack. Don't give up what you want, take it back. Wait for the perfect time, then attack. Do what you have to do, make it last. Wait for the
It is the Wrestling Mayhem Show, episode 956, Tuesdays or some other day that we've been doing professionalized wrestling talk, not that we've learned anything in the last 20 years. It's a Sunday, actually, and it's Mother's Day. Call your mom. We're some traveling this week. We have, it gets busy this season, as you guys probably know if you've been listening for a while. We'll be going up to the Michigan Speedway with a lot of our video crew and everything. So we're going to be on the road. We want to get this off the plate here. I will say, if you want to hear about my moms, go to sorgatronmedia.com, and there's a great interview. I interviewed my mom just a couple hours before this, and she I gotta hit record on this. Okay, hold on a second. There we go. Go hit record. There, now the show's going. So I interviewed my mother, and we talked about pretty much the stuff that she did that had inspired me to do my stuff tangentially. So go check that out. We have a lot of fun. We talk about going to Kennywood today and do a little bit of religion bashing at the end, it turned out. But it's okay. It's family. Anyways, so go check that out at sorgatronmedia.com, the latest episode of The Awesome Cast. And in the meantime, we are here, and I figured at the very bare minimum, we're going to do, I don't know if it's going to be a full show. I don't know. A guest may show up. I don't know what's going to go on here. But I wanted to make sure I had a chance to talk with everybody. Backlash happened this weekend. I figured that was worth talking about, so we could start there. A lot of other news through the week. Myself, I'm woefully behind on AEW, and I'm trying to get it. I just learned about a steel cage match that's coming up here soon, and they told me about Zach Allen being involved with one thing or another that I just found out about. So, anyways, it's been really busy, and it's going to get worse in June. Let me promise you that. So we got at least 2 probably not regular shows in June. So moving on from that, I do have with me, he is the from the Pod Cave, it is Dave Podnar. Nope, that's a couch. How about Dave Podnar?
Yes. And Michael,
Michael,
just be careful what you're saying.
Whoa, government names.
I'll give you one at a time.
One what?
That's all I'm saying.
Yep.
One overtime? Is that what you said?
Nope, just one. There will be repercussions if you keep having that attitude, Michael.
What attitude? What attitude? There's a guy outside who was talking to me about my attitude, but he also parked like shit a few minutes ago. But what are we talking about?
Instead of just like someone else who decided to use someone's government name as Ron. Ron?
Oh my god, I gotta watch these.
Keep going?
Yes.
There will be repercussions.
Repercussions, yes.
Say anything else.
Yes.
You went over the line there.
Thank you so much. That sounds like a clickbait answer to me. But also my friend who is definitely very clickbaity is the Rizz.
Clickbaity?
Well, every time I write the Rizz, people click on it because they think it's something else right now.
Oh, yeah.
Also, I'm in a fight with ChatGPT that keeps doing your name with one Z. So
see, that's fine.
That's fine? Are you sure about that?
One Z is fine.
I think you should have like 3 Z's minimum.
I mean, it's better than LER at the end of it.
Yes.
Oh, okay.
True.
Okay.
But you're not having the same issues that Taz did 25 years ago with the 1Z, 2Z.
So was he in WWE with 2 Z's or
he was? Yeah, WWE with 2 Z's.
No, I thought he had 1 Z there.
No, he had one Z normally, but they added the extra Z just in case Warner Brothers came after him.
By the way, Taz redirects here for the rugby players. See Taz Fuzani for the rabbinical commentary. Rabbinical. David Segal for the car make. See Toyota Taz.
Buy your cars a Toyota Taz.
A Toyota Taz, the Tasmaniac, the Taz. He was Taz. Wait, during his time in DCW, Taz was. This doesn't really narrow it down.
During the
Good
Eastern Championship or whatever it was,
Mm-hmm.
before actual that was John Cena again. Before they went extreme, he was the Tasmaniac. And he had no feet.
Yes.
He had no shoes on.
No shoes. Taz. Allergic to shoes. Okay. Anyways,
No Sue Jones there.
I think we're losing the audience here.
There's an audience.
Maybe, yeah, there actually is an audience here. I know, right? They're out there.
Oh, yeah.
They're out there.
There's
right
somewhere.
Anyways, you can say you can never have enough Z's in a name. This is true. Anyways, we can't call me Sorg because that's a problem with Fifth Element. I popped whenever I watched that the first time. I was like, oh my god. Anyways, so Backlash happened this past
And
weekend.
also, it sounds way too similar to Sorg.
What?
Zorg.
Yes. Well, a lot of people.
And Zerg,
Rob Black
Zerg
loved
is-
calling me Sorg, actually.
Yeah.
Like most of the night, and then sometimes there's a K in there somewhere.
Rob Black likes
Black.
to do a lot of things.
Rob Black, I appreciate Rob Black.
Things that we can't
Let's put
probably
this out
say
here. There's
on
no
mic.
reason that we're going into this right now at the top of the show, just because it's on my mind and I'm just feisty today. Because I literally probably almost just got in a physical fight. But so I'm in go mode right now. No, Mike's. I can't say it was a bad experience with Rob Black. There were things that I was not happy with that happened. But I also understand what they do. And I am happy to have an experience working with and for Rob Black on a EXPW show. I never got the call back. I'll say that. That I recall. But also I think I made pretty clear to my handler. I was like, "Yo, I'm not happy about this." So about something that happened, and it wasn't anything crazy. It was just organizational situation, I think we can say. But no, it was an experience, and I see what they're doing, and I appreciate what they're doing for what they're doing. But it's definitely not something I want to work on all the time. But I hope are they still going? Are they still rocking? Yeah, XPW's still rocking out there. I think I saw a clip from them a couple weeks ago. So somebody was talking about them. So yeah, they're doing their thing, and whatever, go.
Good for them, I guess.
Do your crazy. No, actually, like seriously, like they're doing their thing and it works, and for what they're doing and their audience that they have, and they're going that, and they have that history, and that's good. That's good for it. So, I think I watched the documentary after I worked for him, by the way. So, anyways, on that note,
Yeah, that was like
All
that was like right after your thing where the Dark Side came out, right?
It was well after we were. I think it came out, and we went up to Rochester and did a show, but I wasn't working directly with them. But I watched it like right before or right after the second time, where I was like, oh, I'm going to have to like directly work with this guy and run his show. So it was an experience, and I appreciate the experience. For that. That's something I can say that I did. I can put the letters XPW on my resume. I probably won't do that a lot of places, but
Yeah.
I don't know what that says. That's what kind of place I'm trying to work. Like, you know what I mean? So because I know it kind of goes both ways depending on your opinions of the company, and rightfully, right? What your opinions, everybody has their opinions. All right, dance around that one. Let's go. Backlash. What happened? Also, no, we do have to pull back, and this is actually related to this. But no, pull back for a moment because there was news. I believe this dropped today.
Yeah.
That Sabu has passed away, and everybody's been posting. I discovered this while I was at Kennywood with my mother today. And I just seen it at the WWE website right now. Sabu passed away, born in 1964 to 2025. I know we were all looking at a match where he was going crazy Mania week, and that was pretty wild.
Like, what, 2 months ago?
That was 3 weeks ago, dude.
3 weeks ago. Yeah. That was his retirement.
He was
match.
rolling. It was a retirement match, and this happened. I did not see the nature of how he passed away. So I'm curious
Everything
about
I've
that.
seen, it was more of people like remembrance of them.
Yeah, nobody's
talking about, but no.
I haven't had a chance to look at it. Yeah.
Yeah.
This is the first time I've been in front of a computer to try to look at things. Okay, I've had a phone, but let's be honest. But yeah, R.I.P.
You were having fun.
I was having fun today. But anyways, I appreciate that. Sabu was just one of those guys that I remember the first time I heard him speak at the Gathering of the Juggalos when they were doing like a kind of a School Tough Enough kind of thing, and he was one of the judges, and I'm just like, oh, what is this? And this is like probably early to mid 2000s. Sabu and Vampiro was a main event the 3 days of wrestling of the Gathering of the Juggalos in Toledo that I went to the first time. Which was technically my first independent wrestling show. He did a show here in Pittsburgh. Doc Doherty has a story that maybe he'll tell. I don't think we told it on air. That may be out there. I know Facade is heavily influenced by Sabu, so I'm feeling for the guy there. He's definitely somebody we saw a bit, come through the Pittsburgh area on the independents, and obviously, we know his impact about things. I remember seeing him going to the arena and here in town when WWE come to town, and they were doing the ECW revival. And he was a part of that. It was just very cool to be like, oh, cool, like Sabu is in an arena, and getting a paycheck. Like, this is good, Obviously didn't last terribly long, but still it was good that he got there and got to get in front of even more people that will hopefully discover him and his influence on people. So, crazy as fuck, like a lot of those ECW guys, but definitely, everybody has really, really good things to say about him. I just remember him walking around in a suit with his girlfriend or wife. I don't remember what it was. And she was wearing this kind of like pink thing going on. He had like a white suit on walking around the Arnold when we went the one time. It was just like so wild. But it was very, very cool. So I don't know if you guys have anything you want to say about Sabu.
I think every time I saw Sabu,
mm-hmm.
and it might be just skewed towards the clips that I've seen, and also every time I tune into something like
mm-hmm.
a match that he's in,
mm-hmm.
9 times out of 10, it feels like he's just doing things to do them. Like, he was just doing things to actually make it look real.
Yeah.
Like, oh, I'm gonna jump off this chair onto the ring ropes and over the top rope. Like, it was one of those things where it's just like he just decided to do them, and then while he was doing them, it might not work.
Mm-hmm.
And those times usually happen during the clips that I've seen and the matches that I've seen, where like he goes over the top rope, or he slips on the chair, or he, like I said, he goes over the top rope and then like catches his neck off of the barricade, and then wraps his tape around his neck to keep it steady.
Mm-hmm.
But like, he just made it actually look, well, again, it definitely was real, but like, it made it look like this thing can go haywire at any moment.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Podnar?
Well, I mean, I remember watching him on ECW back in the late 90s, and how different that whole thing was compared to either WWF or WCW.
Yeah.
And if you want to, I would say look for this. From April of 93, a match of Sabu versus the Lightning Kid.
Mm-hmm.
So we're talking Sean Waltman.
Mm-hmm.
And you think about what WWE was doing at the time, and the other organization in the early 90s. And you look at their match here.
Oh, jeez.
Their match, they're doing things which right now would look perfectly in place on any modern show. They're doing things that it's like the extra movements, the flips, where I mean, first of all, just a very young Sean Waltman there, but I mean,
just
fact-
before he showed it in WWF.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Probably just like months at best.
but I mean, just the way that they're working the crowd, the movements they're doing, it is just absolutely. It's something that like I said, you look at this match, you're like, okay, I could see this on a Dynamite, or I could see this on a Raw or SmackDown. That would, probably more on a Dynamite because of some of the stuff Sabu did with, jumping out and using ladders to jump on people, but in other matches. But like I said, it's something where it was definitely, I hate to say ahead of its time, but nationally ahead of its time.
Absolutely. And of course, Crimson Mask on the kid there in that one.
Oh yeah.
So that's crazy. Yeah, I mean this was definitely not happening. And Sabu did have a short. Did he have a short run early on in WCW?
Mhm.
I thought like kind of pre ECW.
Yeah, you know when that stopped?
Why?
He was in the RVD car.
Well, no. In WCW.
Oh,
Early
WCW.
WCW.
Yeah.
I'm talking about.
95.
Yeah,
it
95.
was-
WCW was, I'm looking it up now. WCW was, he made 3 appearances for WWF in 93.
Wow.
Dark matches.
Okay.
3 dark matches, but still 3 dark matches. Yeah. Extreme Championship Wrestling. Went to WCW, returned to ECW, and then had that little bit with WWF until, he got pulled over in the Rob Van Dam car, and then he went to TNA like everyone else did.
I found a Reddit that says Sabu wrestled a total of 6 matches in WCW. Due to communication error, Sabu was paid $500 per match, which is probably high for 1995 for an extra guy, right?
Mhm.
2 of those matches were never aired. And they have lists here of Chris Canyon.
That would be an amazing match.
That would be not linked. The Shark, not linked. Sabu defeating Harry.
He wrestled.
Harry
wait,
Baker. What?
he
The Shark
wrestled.
was John Tenta, right?
He wrestled John Tenta.
Yeah, apparently unaired from
Ooh,
the TV.
that
taping.
actually would be awesome.
Against
Mhm.
Alex Wright beat him on a Nitro, like still 95. Halloween Havoc, he defeated Mr. JL at Halloween Havoc. Was he like the opener or something? Holy hell!
And Rob mentioned that in chat
and
too. He said,
Nitro-
wasn't he on a Halloween Havoc?
Yeah, Nitro Sabu defeats Disco Inferno. This is 1995. This is pre NWO, where they were
Man,
hot.
imagine if Disco
What?
Inferno beat Sabu.
Oh my gosh, this is a wait. What am I looking at? This doesn't look like a Halloween Havoc. This looks like this says Nitro on it. I think it was listed wrong, but still, I mean, you kind of get the idea. So I mean, it was. So he was around and he was doing this stuff, and of course WCW kind of like AEW now. They bring people kind of in and out, pretty rapidly. Trying people out and stuff like that. They were pretty good loose with things. They're like, hey, here's some wrestling. Are these guys gonna wrestle? Okay, we're good. That's 10 minutes filled. Move on, kind of thing. Like, I mean, of course, they were doing so much TV. They were trying to figure it out. That's why the roster.
It's okay. You remember Earthquake, right?
Here's a guy that looks
He's
like
under a different
Earthquake,
name,
but he's a
yeah.
shark, and he's I don't know what he had a few different.
He was what was he? Oh, what was Earthquake and Avalanche?
Avalanche. Oh.
Yeah, he was Avalanche, and then he was just John Tenta,
Yeah.
and then he came back, and then he was
Shark.
Goga.
Yeah, he was kind of wrapped in that whole Dungeon of Doom thing with Kevin Sullivan and everything, right? So couldn't create aftershocks in WCW. Earthquake couldn't create aftershocks.
Oh yeah, he was Aftershock too.
Yeah. So
That's right, because it was.
There you go.
Yep, there's the
Legends of Wrestling. Oh my gosh! See, successful getting Earthquake Tag Team Championships. Oh man, this is great. Anyways, hey, I want to give a shout out. So while we were at it, to our friends at patreon.com/Wrestling Mayhem Show. You guys have been supporting the show, and the reason why we, I'm up here on a Sunday night just saying, hey, let's talk some wrestling, because you guys deserve to have a show this week, regardless of my schedule. So here we are, hanging out on the Sunday night together. So call your mom. Thank you to everybody that does support the show, including our friends at the fan of the show level. Bo Diggity! Woo! As well as that was, I got that one. Why I can't get Rizz's?
Got that
Team
one.
Hammer Fist,
Yeah, mine's too
Tupac
high.
family, Bubba Brewer of Triple B Podcast and APWF, Jason French, Poppy Club Level, Dave, Rock Bod, Podnar, Kermit Hands, Rats in a Trench Coat, Tony Kincaid. Check out the Top Rope Tabletop from this week. It was very character heavy. If you want to check that out, available. Actually, I need to make sure it's up there. Actually, I think it did. Okay. Pizza Club level, the Rizz and the Mad One, and at the manager level, Bradley. And if you should, and in case you need any support, yes, Bradley, you should go to the midget wrestling show that's near your house. Here in a few weeks, I recommend it. It's ridiculous. It's stupid. It is fun. Actually, I think it's next week. But it is. Listen,
Make them do this to you, Bradley.
What? Do what? Make a wedgie, you, Bradley. Bradley, if you bring us back a picture. Bradley. Listen, Bradley. I'm just talking straight to you. Nobody else is listening to it. It's just you and me, Bradley.
You want us to take off our
We're listening to you.
It's
Monday. You're like, I have a podcast. I'm listening to this while I'm doing my accounting things. There's fingers. I think you listen to audio, but I'm doing accounting fingers right now. Okay. I'm really close to the mic. I'm right in your soul, Bradley. And I'm telling you, if you go to this midget wrestling show, and it's what it's called Midget Mania or something. So I'm not fucking around. I want you to recreate this picture with the midgets and send it to us here on the show. And Bradley, tariffs pending, I will send you a new Wrestling Mayhem Show logo merch.
I don't even have that.
I'm lucky I have one. So apparently we're all paying a lot more for them very soon. So
yeah.
Kind of missed our window. So I'm really putting a lot on the line for this. I'm gonna pay for like a $50 t-shirt at this point. So but yes, so there you go. Bradley, the call is out to you. Patreon.com/Wrestling Mayhem Show. Anyways, so let's get the Backlash. The reason we're here.
Okay, you know what? Let me do a quick transition to Backlash. Because there's one match that I would love to see right now.
Okay.
And it's Disco Inferno versus Gunther. Wait a minute, versus Gunther. Okay. Because we all need to see Disco Inferno get his ass whooped.
Sure. Who doesn't?
Apparently, we all love to see Pat McAfee get his chest turned into ground meat.
Uh-huh.
Because I don't know if you saw, he posted a picture today or late last night of what his chest looked like.
Oh, I'm looking this up. I knew it was going to be all over.
And yeah, it was not good.
For some reason, his face was also just red as well.
No. Well, because remember, first of all, I don't know what kind of cardio shape he was in, but he did get choked out multiple times in that match.
He did. Oh my God. Oh my God. Oh, Pat McAfee. Oh, holy shit. Listen, like, I mean, he also went through a lot. Listen, all respect to Pat McAfee. I like, bro, like, you talk about, like, somebody that this guy that does not have a media degree. Let's put it that way from our conversations before the show. He's a Yinzer getting his ass kicked, and I'm just like, we're about to see a Yinzer get his ass kicked. Like, we all know what was going to happen. We know how this was going to go down, right? Now, the respect spot was a surprise, but this is, like, by the numbers as far as this goes. I think this is, and please, somebody correct me if I'm wrong, but I do not believe Pat has had a wrestling match since his match. God, who did he even wrestle back at Dallas? I remember him. What's that?
Theory?
Yeah. Because he beat Theory, and then Vince came out.
And then Vince comes out, and then
beat
Stone
McAfee,
Cold comes out.
And then Stone Cold, yeah.
Yeah, because it was a whole thing. It was weird, but it was like, okay, he has match. And Pat is, okay. You have Bad Bunny. You have Logan Paul, who are, again, popular for other things and came into wrestling and have made their marks in different ways, right?
Right.
And just seem very good and crisp, whether it's rehearsed or not or stuff like that. We know Pat McAfee. I believe we're aware that Pat McAfee has a wrestling ring. He owns a wrestling ring. He can do this when he can practice anytime. And listen, I don't think Pat is crazy athletic. Dude's in good shape. Don't get me wrong. To be a kicker on football is still better than any of us, right?
Well, not only that, I will say this.
He's not. He's not.
So Sorg, real quick.
Yes.
When he was a kickoff and a punter.
Sure.
Yeah, in college.
Sure.
And in the pros, he was a field goal kicker, but he was a little bit more physical than most kickers.
Okay.
So he would make tackles. So he would go after people and make tackles. So he was not well.
And he's entering wrestling, and he is currently at 38 years old. So he's not a spring chicken. So I mean, and I don't know. He's definitely not. Maybe Logan's definitely younger, and is a insanely gifted athlete, right? It turns out, great for a YouTuber. And Pat. I mean, Pat is not going to put on a 5-star match. Listen, we know this, but he knows enough to do the job. There's definitely points where you're just like, this guy does not wrestle too often, when you're watching these things. Armchair quarterbacking, of course, of professional wrestling, yes. From people that don't do it, and I think one of us is taking a bump.
His match was fine.
Yeah, it was good stuff.
Oh, yeah.
But I'm saying that as a qualifier too. This match was fucking great. So yeah. I feel like I've been too long bashing it, and putting qualifiers on this, but it was great. And the story it was told. And there's a tweet that I kind of responded to where somebody was like, "Oh, I think they're killing Gunther. He should have been destroying them." I was like, "No, he destroyed them for minutes." And then Cole got involved, and he was getting cocky, and that's when other stuff was happening. He put up a fight. That's the story of fighting a bully, guys. That was the story. It's the loyalty. It's, I'm going to stand up to this guy, and he got the respect at the end. Like, I have, you guys, I don't listen too much, but like I had it on in the background after the pay-per-view, and Byron talks to Matt for a moment, and that's what he says. Like, hey, all I wanted was to stand up to this guy, and this and that, and show him he couldn't do this to Cole and stuff. And then Byron explains the entire crux of the story. Like, is the post show now just explaining the story that you saw? Like, in case you missed it, this was the fucking point of the match.
That's what post shows are.
Is that what we're doing? I don't know. I can't watch. Like, Josh is like, hey, I suppose the pre-show starts at 5 o'clock. I'm like, brother, you don't need to come to 6:45. Don't worry about it. It's like, don't fucking worry about it, man. Like that kind of thing. So I'm like, they're just gonna be talking. We do not need to sit through that. I and I get it, and they're doing good stuff. Like, I loved, post Mania, the stuff with Dom and everything. I loved watching that. I sat there until I could close down that fucking stage at Mania because the last night, because I'm like, I want to see this stuff. Like some cool shit happen. I want to see the reactions. So anyways, sorry, the sinuses are cloggy today. But anyway, so respect to Pat McAfee. He's and it was a little bit of like, why are we having this match? And it is to kind of get over this, put Pat in there, cement that kind of stuff. I hope he sells it and takes off Raw, honestly. As much, but he was just getting up. Pat doesn't sell shit.
That's
I watched him. I don't know how much was on there, but I was watching him just saunter back after that beatdown, sitting there at Raw in Vegas, and I'm just like, brother, you should be more dead. You should really be more dead. They should be dragging your ass right now. What are we doing?
That's the only portion of that segment I did not like.
No, it is, and that's
somebody should be helping him up. Somebody should be also, putting him on his shoulders. And
also, you have all these fucking pros around him. The referees, was it Pierce? No, yeah, Pierce. The agents and whoever else was helping them and stuff. Somebody should be like, sell a little more, brother. Sell a little more. I feel like that should be happening. I don't know. I'm not in there, but I feel like that's a conversation. From the little I know, I feel like that somebody should have been like, fucking sell, brother.
Yes,
you should not be this alive. You just took a choke out from Gunther. You should be like, not this. You know what I mean?
Yeah. He's a punter.
He's a punter.
Yeah, he's a punter.
The punter of pro wrestling.
And he does do podcasts, but
if you will.
He is not a actor.
No, no, he's certainly not an actor.
Somebody should, like you said, somebody should have been in his ear going,
The
just
whole
stay down,
point of
we'll
Pat,
help you up for this.
the whole point of Pat is he's raw energy. Okay, the whole point of it. They make fun of it. Like Paul Heyman said stuff about it on his show. Cole said some stuff on the show. I was like, he's like, you don't even listen to the people that pay you.
No.
About what you should be saying out there. You know?
Let's be honest. Pat's doing this because he finds it fun.
Oh, yeah.
Not because he needs the money.
He's a fucking fan, dude. Oh, yeah. He does. That ESPN deal, bro does not need the money. Unless he's like 5 times divorced I don't know about. Dude does not need the money.
No. I mean, if you look when he got that deal from ESPN, the amount he gave away to his high school, to WVU, to people in Indianapolis. He was giving away millions.
So he gave a mentor to what? Plum High School out here, right?
Yeah, Plum High
here
School
in Pittsburgh. Yeah. So I mean, I love that, and even the fact that he did the big night out here in Pittsburgh, right? Like that. Okay, yeah, he's going to make money off this thing, but it's still also Pittsburgh makes money from it happening, you know. So like it's still I want to come back home and do this, you know. And I still don't even understand what that show was. I can't watch it because I have Hulu, but I don't have I have Disney Hulu and not the real Hulu that they actually posted it last I knew. Maybe they moved it, you know, and plus it's like a month old. So is it even referenced? And it sounded like it was just really fucking random. And I like Pat, but I'm not gonna sit there for 3 hours and just listen to Pat talk unless it's about wrestling.
You don't want to hear him. You don't want to hear him talk for 3 hours.
No, it's like listen. If I wanted to hear Yinzers talking sports in that. I turn on the radio box, or listen to my podcast students' podcast. You know,
or just talk to me, and I'll talk about Pirates baseball.
Okay, Rizz.
Rizz,
wait, Rizz. Respectfully,
don't talk about Pirate baseball.
Respectfully,
don't talk about Pirate baseball.
Respectfully, Rizz, you're not Yinzer enough.
And also, Rizz, we don't want to talk about Pirate baseball. Because we don't want to have that line you have to call when you talk about too many depressing things. Yeah. And Pirates baseball is just too depressing.
There's that too.
I mean, Rizz, they won their first series since.
Oh, we got to move on. We really got to move on.
April.
We really got to move on for this. Hey, can I we should get the Backlash, but I have some stuff I want to show.
Okay, real quick before we move off of Pat McAfee. Yeah. One issue with having people with I hate to say legitimate. A professional sports career.
Okay.
Like the NFL, where they have pre-draft measurements in terms of height and weight. And they don't fudge those. The team can fudge out. But when they go through the combine and they say, okay, you're this tall, and they publish all that. So the fact that McAfee is just a tidge under 6 foot.
Oh, is he?
Yeah, 5'11" and a half.
I thought he was taller.
Okay. And coming out of college, he was 228.
I thought brother was 6'4". Okay. I didn't. Okay.
No, that's right from the NFL's official.
Because he's he's been standing beside Cole all the time, so he just looks like he's a giant. Or he's standing on a fucking table.
But yeah, so you're like, oh. Or like when they had Ben on, or other football players, like, okay, we know this guy is a legitimate 6'3". Yeah. He's standing next to this guy, and he's the same height, and you're calling him 6'9".
I thought they called Dev Swayze 6'4" at some point, and I was like, brother is like towering over me. That's like impossible. What are we doing right now? Like, dude is, I think he's like 6'7" or 8" or something like that, and he's like he's a fucking, that dude figures out how to put muscle on him. He's gonna be unstoppable. Okay, so I'm just waiting for the day that he figures out how to get Duke Davis big, and it was like, oh my god, this kid is a monster. So anyway, sorry. What am I doing? I want to sneeze again. That's one thing. Rizz, tell me something else about Backlash you liked. You got to sneeze too? I got to sneeze too. Let's all sneeze together.
The actual the Valkyrie and Becky Lynch match was raw, and like it was good. Mm-hmm. It was good, raw, talented wrestling. And then Becky decided to punch her directly into the eye socket.
Was that what was the eye socket, not the nose? Okay.
No, like you can see
because she was playing it off as like broken nose.
No, you can see like when she sat up for a bit,
Mm-hmm.
you can see like through the hair. There's like a big shiner right around her eye. There was all like that match. That match was fun, and it also told the story of Lyra Valkyrie's fiance, which looks like Skrillex.
Wait, what?
Wait,
he looks like
he's getting famous.
Oh, he
He's getting famous.
He is. I love
because he is a dorky guy, and there's John Cena, a dorky guy,
yeah,
who is dating a professional wrestler like Lyra Valkyria.
Yeah. Wait, okay. I want to hold back on it because like we had the same reaction because we were like, "Who's this guy?" When we're watching it here, and we're looking. I was like, "Oh, he like they're 10 years relationship, fiance, respect." And there was a little bit of the like, wow, she's with this guy, like kind of thing, right? Because
good for him.
and we only got a flash of like, who's this geeky guy that she's interacting with, kind of thing, right? I mean, that's an initial. I think that's a fair initial reaction, right? But I had a point here. Oh, she's also like, if you see pictures of her out of character, she's kind of adorkable. So it really kind of like it makes more sense when you look at it in that context.
Her character's this is a bird.
Okay, not exactly that, but this is like, listen.
Sort of.
She's a bird
she does
lady.
Come out with feathers. She come out with feathers.
She's a bird lady. She's like a fucking He-Man character, and I love it. I'm here for it. Is she in the new He-Man movie? I was seeing behind the scenes stolen pictures today.
Or is she in DC maybe as Hawk Girl?
Is she Hawk? Is he the Hawk Girl? I just picked this button. I don't know what's going on. I'm just gonna go to this sometimes. I just like, and what do you think, little Jimmy? Anyways, she's God, I gotta watch these conferences. Apparently, Becky versus Lyra was one of the favorite matches of the year from Matt out there.
Yep.
So by the way, Logan is 30, not that far off from Pat, says Tina.
That's 38.
But also, Logan hasn't gotten hit by giant men in pads for a profession, so I think he's generally better off. So, it's what it is. So. God, he's 30. Like Taker was talking about, it's like, oh, he's young. What do you mean when he was younger, he did this thing in Japan? It's like, oh, he's 30. So it's like, okay, God, I'm trying to do that off air. I hope that's okay. But anyways, sorry about the snipples of this coming through, and I said something, and maybe you don't hear it anyways. I don't know.
I don't hear anything, Sorg.
I'm falling apart. I'm falling apart over here, guys.
You're fine. Sorg.
I don't know what I'm doing anymore.
Sorg.
I just need to.
The
I have so much
broadcast
ahead of
sounds
me.
fine.
I have
you
so
may
much.
You may be in horrible shape. The broadcast sounds fine.
I'm fine. It's just my nose started running. Like he's getting all leaky over here. It's Sunday. That's why we don't do podcasts on Sunday.
Nope.
Listen. I got a lot
somebody wanted to do a podcast Sunday, Sorg.
Somebody's
busy on Tuesday.
Somebody tried booking somebody, and then somebody tried to fight me in front of the studio.
Okay, back on track.
Okay,
yes.
Yeah. Thank you guys for pulling me back in. I don't even have I don't have an intern here because I forgot to tell the intern until like this afternoon we were doing the show. So
let me ask you something.
Yes.
Kind of taking about the pay-per-view real quick.
Yes.
Now, admittedly, the last match went a hell of a lot longer than I was expecting it to.
No, actually, it's pretty much what I expected. I was like, I need to go to the bathroom. This thing's going to be 40 minutes.
I didn't. Well, the thing is, I don't know what the prices were for Backlash, but you only got 5 matches.
Mm-hmm. But you got 5 good ones.
You've got 5 good ones, but you only got 5 matches, and there were some pretty long breaks between those.
Do we want
matches.
to talk about Raw prices when they come to Pittsburgh here? Because this is shocking. Have you seen them?
$120.
No, it was more than that for what I was finding. It was 160 some minimum. This is all in pricing now, by the way, guys. All in pricing. So that includes all the fees now. Everybody's doing this now. They started up this week because they're all getting sued. Good. They're all getting sued by several states at this point, attorneys generals, about this practice. Situation.
I hate to say it, but good because convenience, paying a $15 convenience fee, you're like, okay. If I could be inconvenienced and save $15, how can I do that?
Yeah. Like, tell me the inconvenient way. It's like, So props for that. So at least like you don't get surprised. Oh yeah, like it's probably like, oh, these would have been like $120 ones, and then you have the fees and whatever. So I am curious about this, and this does go into this is what we're talking about. So according to this, oh, I'm sorry. Oh, are they better than I expected? No, I think this is what I saw before. They start at 132.15. This is the back row. This is the bowl on the far end corner from the stage. Is in PBG Arena
on the lower bowl. On the lower
no, on the higher bowl.
On the top. Oh,
the cheapest ticket you can get starts at $132.
Okay, I won't be going to Raw.
Yeah. Watch it on TV.
I'm sorry, that's not worth $130.
And Tina's saying they paid $400 for SmackDown. Is that per ticket or as a group or of a sort or what? Please fill us in. I think you guys were lower if I recall, so that sounds about right. If you go to the Igloo Club, which I have bought tickets. I bought tickets for the Royal Rumble. We were in the background when Punk goes up, to the Igloo seating, where you're like behind like the ring on hard cam, right? Those are currently going for, hold on. There's 3 seats there. By the way, this thing is going to sell out. This thing is going to sell out. So if you want to get tickets to Raw in late June, you should probably get them now. But if you want one of the 3 seats in the not center Igloo section, it is $492 for one ticket. These are not resale, by the way. This is face value is $415 plus a $77 service charge. This is banana what they're doing. But also consider, last I knew, they are not doing house shows. They have trimmed down the market. So what they're not, I would imagine what they're not making on house shows, they're making it on the current ticket prices. They are a supply and demand thing, and people are demanding WWE because they are so hot right now.
I'm shocked that, because I'm looking at the PPG Paints Arena's website, how much there's not available.
Yeah. It is astonishing. Here, I can show you the map. Look at this. Look at how much is like, typically there are tickets left, and I have some people that can hook me up with some tickets of some sort. I don't think that's going to be a possibility at this point.
I mean, if you want to see something crazy, go to the ones section 1.
Section 1 on the floor. Okay, these are all sold out, dude. You got resales, or these are Ringsider packages. Those are still available.
VIP.
These are VIPs for almost $1,000, but you get like the meet and greets and everything with that, and the shares and all that stuff. You have some seats. You have some seats out here on the floor, but those seats, even those seats, $484.
Yeah, can you go to that center one or the middle?
Out here?
First, no.
What?
In one, the pink one.
Oh, that's a resale. That's a resale.
It's
it's going for $2,400 because it's a resale though. That's a resale.
I think that's where that's where green shirt guy is.
Is that where green shirt guy is? He selling his ticket, his second ticket? Straight up. Oh wait, I have 3 tickets on here. So yeah, if you go over here, it's like $400. Like lower bowl, you're paying almost $500. Oh no, almost. There's $280 back here in the corner. Okay. You got resales in the back for $230. And this is what I'm talking about. Up here, this is the upper bowl. This is near the back. It's really high there in PPG, guys. And those are going for even these ones here, $160.
If you're in the corner,
like to start with,
that's the cheapest.
Yeah.
If you go in the corner, that's the cheapest. That's your $132.
Yep.
But that's before taxes, it says.
Oh my God. So yeah, somebody had a card that says I got this ticket instead of my car payment like for, I think it was a SmackDown on Friday. Like that's accurate. That's real life, man. But also less of us are going to WWE because there's less WWE to go to, which means they can pay more or they can charge more. We complain about this, but you know what? Stop buying the tickets. At some point, if it gets to the point where we can't buy these tickets anymore, or things get so messed up that we can't buy these tickets anymore in this country, they'll come down. They'll come down. Okay. In the meantime, I have stated this before. If you go to let's go to AEW. AEWTix.com. They're doing smaller venues. Last I knew, the tickets were not terrible last time I saw them. God, what was the last thing I went to? Well, they were free tickets. So,
and Sorg Wheels asked, what was handicap seating?
What was handicap seating? Well, yeah, I accidentally ended up.
I
ended up in handicap seating by accident when I grabbed a retail ticket for Raw at Vegas. I walked up like, bro, what is this? Wait, what does WC mean? Oh shit.
Sorg.
I'm that guy. But they were the only seats left, okay? They were literally the only seats left.
Is that like the same thing?
Okay, they were $50 cheaper than the other seats I found.
Is that the same thing that happened with Brad?
Brad was another situation, okay? I didn't know it was the smallest toilet. I didn't know that I did not see... I want to stop talking. I'm stop talking.
Okay,
By contrast, AEW May 14th starts at $30. Go, Dave.
But real quick for Wheels, there is one seat. It looks like two seats. Row 200, section 211. So it's on the top where it is.
Yeah.
That's. It looks like you have to buy two at a time.
Okay, you need a buddy.
It's around $190 per ticket.
It's more expensive to be handicapped at these shows than. That's fucked up. That's kind of fucked up, actually.
Yeah.
So. Jeez.
Yeah, it's section 211. It's section.
Hey, Wheels, I'll be your buddy. Those seats are comfy over there. I'm a terrible human being.
But that's it, though. I'm saying that's the only seats. It says section 211, row N. That's it.
Okay.
I don't know if there's other accessible seats that aren't available, or if they sold out all the accessible seats.
It may be. It is very possible. They only have so many of them. So, is Loge available?
Wow.
Is Loge available? Yeah, he says, wow. Loge is a thing, too. That's a... Oh God!
Yeah, that's that weird in between. Real quick, while we're also talking about that, True Prince of Pro said Lyra's fiance is LJ Cleary. He's one of the most booked wrestlers outside of WWE.
What?
He's known as the MVP of Irish wrestling and also wrestles for Pro Wrestling Noah.
Okay. This is the same dude. Okay. Yeah. All right. There you go.
Also for OTT and ICW.
To be fair, every time I see a new person, usually a trainee of professional wrestling, I'm like, who the fuck is this geek? So, and they turn into, I don't know, Ziggy Haim or Mikey Montgomery and shit like that, right? Like that's kind of like your first instinct. So, and we all just had that first instinct, and we're all assholes. Okay, we'll bring this back around. So, in which of course the clip I put out will be us going crazy about this, and people say you're all assholes. I'm like, yes, we acknowledge that later in the show. Please watch the show, WrestlingMayhemShow.com. So, guys, let's take a shout out real quick because we're going long here. IndieWrestling.us, a lot of stuff happening there. RWA show this next week is going to be live on there as part of the network membership, ringside memberships on the YouTube. So many things. The latest, I just posted a Neo Pro show from a strip club called Triple X Stream. You can check out there. Beastman on the pole, by the way, at some point. Maybe you've seen the clip go around a few weeks ago. So really proud of our partners there. We got some others in the work as well that we're talking with about coming onto the network on top of what's going on with our friends with Big League Wrestling. It's got a show coming up in the next couple of weeks. 880 Wrestling just announced their No Ceilings event at Penn Brewery. No ceilings. I got there. Right part of the room. Okay. But there's no walls either, by the way. So just put that out there. As long as it doesn't rain, then there will be all the ceiling, and probably a different ring. So, anyways, so go check it out. IndieWrestling.us. All right, Backlash. John Cena, Randy Orton.
Honestly, it was better. It was better than I was expecting it to be, even with all the junk going on.
Okay.
The multiple. Oh, Randy looks like he has a pin, but the ref is out.
I mean, come on. It
was still entertaining.
Listen, we know the moves. Wrestling isn't the moves, including that. It's what happens in between it, right? Yeah. Which is a great thing that I was listening to lately.
including Randy, RKOing
The entire production
Nick
department.
Aldis, and everyone there.
I loved it. Every agent got
Mhm.
biffed, you know.
And the fact that Hurricane Helms posted the image from Lethal Weapon saying I'm too old for this shit.
Yeah. I love it. No, that was fun, guys. That was fun. And it's like, Randy's not getting this one, but it's in his hometown.
Yeah.
They're gonna make a good show of it, and they had fun with it. R-Truth was the one.
Yeah.
R-Truth was
Who
the
else
one.
would it be?
That's fantastic. I love it.
With that, as well as the press conference
Yes.
stuff, like that alone, and apparently that's going to be the match at Saturday Night Main Event.
I was just going to say, I hope that's what they're doing next.
Yep. That's what I hear they're doing. I kind of want to see R-Truth with a real legitimate chance. I don't want like a comedic R-Truth situation. I want serious as hell R-Truth and how they play this off. Because both men deserve a championship.
Mm-hmm.
We keep forgetting R-Truth is a former NWA champion.
Mm-hmm.
He held the 10 pounds of gold.
Yeah.
And I think Aldis somewhere is maybe a little bit of Aldis as well as Scrap Daddy is getting into Trips' ear, going, "Hey,
no. Yeah, I think we underestimate how much that R-Truth is actually respected in the business.
Oh no, he's definitely respected.
Yeah.
For what he does is incredible. and
I think also recognized. There has to be the key turn though of going from comedic. Crazy.
I don't think it's going to be so hear me out on this. I don't think it's comedic. I think it's going to be why John, I supported
that's
you.
Going to be the thing.
It's like that's going to be the story. I don't think he's going to snap in that regard. I think it's going to be him kind of reconciling what's actually happening versus his understanding of what's happening. And again, it's Saturday Night's Main Event, so it's like I'm not expecting it's going to be. I feel like it's going to be a version of what expectations versus delivery of what we had with Gunther and McAfee that we talked about at length, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I think that's real, so, but yeah, he it's either way, we're going to be fucking entertained. That's what's going to happen.
Yeah.
That's what's going to happen at the end. Yeah.
And he should be in the ladder match too. Put him in the Money in the Bank ladder match.
Fantastic point in the chat room from Matt out there. Nope, there we go. I guess now that's the third time that Orton has hit Nick Aldis with the RKO. I really hope that means we can finally get a match between them as they tease before Mania.
Hell yeah!
Like Nick's got one in him. I mean, well, Nick's got many in him actually. So this is just the role right now, and at least he's taking RKO's like a freaking champ, So, but either way. So anyways, I appreciate that. The John Cena Reign of Terror. We pontificate. I'm going to put it out on the show here. You'll go ahead.
I was going to say something during the end of the match, like at the end of the match, where when they cut away and then came back, he had that moment where he's like taking it all in. People are like, "Oh, he's just reminiscing about certain aspects. He's reminiscing about his last match with Randy Orton, which his first match was on. It can be seen from a Joe Dombrowski DVD, by the way. Just want to point that out there. But
unconfirmed.
Oh, it's there. Like somebody showed it, and it's like the actual.
Is it okay?
DVD. But anyways, he did this thing where I'm looking, where he starts, like you can see something going on in his mind, and a lot of people are saying that's just like him, like going backwards and hearing, like seeing that this is going to be the last time that he faces Randy Orton. No, I think this is more of that slow burn of a Avengers type situation, like a movie situation where he's now he now sold his soul, but now he's starting to regain his soul back. And he's starting to remember, like, oh shit, what, this doesn't feel right. Like, it's starting to feel not right, what he's doing to himself. But he's still doing it, though. Like, if I feel like he's doing this, like, more, what he did at R-Truth was, like, something snapped back into his brain. But I feel like in his eyes, like, he's a very non-verbal actor. Like, very much like a nonverbal actor, where he's like taking it all in, looking at his championship belt, looking around the room, like realizing what he's done.
I noticed that because like there was the initial 1, 2, 3, and then he's sitting there, and I felt like he was like looking at the reaction and still kind of dismayed by it, right?
Yeah.
Like, but you're still going. But why are you doing this? What are you trying to prove? Do you want us to turn your way? You know what's going on here? And maybe it is like a thing where he comes, like, you know, there's going to be a face turn at the last minute. Okay.
Yep. And that's where Cody Rhodes comes in.
Maybe like we pontificate the idea. We pontificate the idea that, like, you know, wouldn't it be interesting if he just keeps this and has it until literally the last moment of his contractual status. And it is some mad attitude era, holy fuckery, that they get the belt off of him in the cinch of the moment, and before the clock strikes midnight, you know, kind of thing. And it literally is like he has his countdown. He spelled it out to us. Because he drops it at Money in the Bank. Okay, what is he going to do for the rest of those dates? And I could be wrong too. He could drop it at Money in the Bank SummerSlam and then has a turnaround kind of situation, and which is him turning face and reconciling his issues. Think to Jey Uso kind of becoming a good guy, but had to reconcile all the stuff he did as Bloodline. What's one thing I love that happens right now is you can become a good guy, but we're not forgetting about the shit you did back there. Think about Swerve. Think about Adam Page. Think about, you know, Jey Uso. Any of the Bloodline that comes out of that, right?
Sammy.
You know, Sammy, right? Everybody's like, yeah, you were a piece of shit for a little bit, dude. You know, like, I'm with you right now, but you were kind of a piece of shit back then, you know, and they remind you of that on a constant basis. You know, Drew's entire thing is calling that out, right? You know, but he's like perfect villain. That's like, yeah, he's right, but man, he shouldn't be going about it this way, right? No. Like, even Cena is right and believes his stuff and is probably saying stuff that he actually thinks in his soul, but he's ramping it up, you know. And
how many shades of gray are there, Sorg?
Oh boy, we are so gray. It's so fucking gray over here. It's so crazy.
50?
We got money. Tina's pointing out we got Money in the Bank, Saturday night's main event, Night of Champions before SummerSlam. Even he's on that with the belt on the ad. You better believe he's going to have that in the desert.
Hey, let him have this. Let him have this.
What?
He's
Okay.
riffing.
What?
He's riffing. No,
nothing.
What
are you laughing at?
Nothing.
What's happening?
Nothing.
What's happening?
Nothing.
What's happening?
Continue.
No,
Sorg.
tell me. I'm done. What are you laughing about?
The 50 Shades of Grey comment that you totally didn't listen.
It's gray all over the place. What are you talking about?
Sorg doesn't read those books or watch those movies, Rizz.
Oh, you talk about sexy movies I can't watch with my mom? Is that what's happening?
How many shades of gray was that?
Sure.
Was that book?
Listen.
50.
But still, you make that
Can I
point.
talk about a problem I have?
You make that point.
Go ahead. Sorry.
No, I was gonna say you make that point, but it's true. Like in that comparison you made, Sammy is closer to the goods, like to the white side of the gray, while Drew McIntyre, Roman Reigns, Seth Rollins is all like the darker side of the grayscale. You have that semblance of there's no black and white.
No. It's like it was literally like, wait, which asshole do you want out of this match? for the main event of WrestleMania at the 3-way. It was just like, no, pick your asshole. Let's go. You know, it was like, it was great though. It was great.
It's like, and then it's like, oh, by the way, you're all wrong. It's Paul Heyman.
Yes, absolutely. But
Real
you even
quick,
can have sympathy for Paul Heyman in a situation. Well, after you explain it.
Sorg, real quick, from Tina in the chat.
Yeah.
About that. Oh, bless your
I saw
heart,
that.
Sorg.
Listen, I'm having a fucking night, okay? I had a really good Mother's Day, okay?
Now, you want to talk about
Tina,
Shades
happy
of Grey
Mother's Day, by the way.
Shades of Grey, that was the first match, too. Because the 4-way for the U.S. Championship, the fact that Jacob Fatu, I know people were cheering him because he's a badass.
Yeah.
But the
All
fact
gas, no
that
brakes.
he did not like Solo coming out and helping him.
No, or
He did not like Jeff Cobb coming out
Nope.
and helping him.
Nope.
He's like he's out there like Wrong Island. So
like I said, I'm not overly familiar with Jeff Cobb.
layers, man. Oh, okay. Here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna go for a quick break so I can try breathing. Literally, and we're gonna talk about Jeff Cobb and situations. We'll be back in a couple minutes after this.
For mercy, you're all alone, unable to handle the pressure of forced mortification. Now let the torture begin.
I'm Eamon,
I'm Merlin,
and we're a gay.
and his NB.
Are you a reality television connoisseur?
Do you like it discussed from an LGBTQ lens?
If so, A Gay and His NB is the podcast for you.
Hear us break down all your favorite guilty pleasure reality shows from Bravo, Drag Race, and just about everything in between.
Listen to A Gay and His NB on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or wherever you listen to podcasts.
It is a Wrestling Mayhem Show. We are back and we're talking about Jeff Corn on the Cob. So, Podnar, you do not know
Yeah,
Jeff
I'm
Cobb.
not overly familiar.
Okay, here's the deal.
Because I know most of his work has been done, a lot of it in Japan.
Yes, and you don't know Japan.
I do not know Japan wrestling.
Two
that
things
well.
you got to have. Oh, I feel like I'm doing like a Tony Storm gimmick with this tissue now.
Yeah. Don't put it anywhere near your face unless it's your nose, Sorg.
Okay,
Yeah,
sorry.
don't
I'm done.
don't pat yourself. Because if that's been used.
Yeah, but like only on my own nose, so therefore it's wide open. So, anyways.
Okay.
Oh, by the way, I love this angle here because it feels like I have a real beard. I've grown this out because I've been lazy.
It does. It looks like you have
until I turn this way and you find out that it's all bullshit. Okay. Anyways.
I mean, that is 90%.
I literally have a good side. Like I literally it just doesn't happen over here. Anyways. Jeff Cobb.
Corn the Cob.
Jeff Corn on the Cob. My God, I went to a seminar one time or a conference one time called Corn on the Cob, and that's one of the places we performed back in the day of you know what. Anyways, 2000s were crazy, man. Jeff Cobb is a gentleman. He was Matanza in Lucha Underground. He's done a bunch of cool shit. He was with Will Ospreay's United Empire in Japan. Of course, done a lot of indies around here with Up in Defy and West Coast Pro Wrestling Guerrilla, things like that. He is Hawaiian, apparently or he's actually Filipino by way of Hawaii, as I learned the other day. Because we're curious, he was like, hey, he's not even Samoan, but I guess we're not doing Bloodline anymore. So we were looking that stuff up. Thank you, Wikipedia. Oh, that's not a good number. Sorry, I was looking at a recorder, and I might have to fix something later. Anyways, he is tremendously athletic for his size. He is a thick dude, and you will be very impressed with him if they let him go. Okay. So I wonder if I was curious if there's going to be any play because you got Jeff, and then if the Gorillas come back, Tama and the other guy, from whatever the hell happened to them, I'm wondering if they'll have a little bit of play with that because those guys were in feuding factions in New Japan. So I don't know if they'll play to that, considering they are literally listing every promotion under the sun except for AEW, but still alluding to AEW in certain aspects. See half of the storylines at NXT for all the people that jumped over there.
Oh, okay. Tina's saying Hawaiian Guam.
Yes.
For
Filipino was listed, I think, on his Wikipedia, but I don't know. But either way, that's not here, there. But
right.
I always kind of know him as kind of just Hawaiian was his thing. So, but yeah, his finishing move was literally Tour of the Islands. So there you go. Yeah, you're gonna like him. Look him up. You're gonna like some Jeff Cobb situation here. Yeah, and you mentioned the Lucha Underground. They mentioned Lucha Underground on Backlash. Like it's getting crazy. Okay, I think they were alluding to maybe Penta's history with Lucha Underground and everything. You do have maybe one more of the Black Lotus Triad. Was that what it was in Lucha? Somebody out there is yelling.
Black Lotus, yeah.
Somebody's yelling at me from upstate New York right now. So anyways,
but yeah, the fact that we're now, is Solo now the guy that they're just putting people with to introduce them, then spin them off? Because remember, Solo came in with the Tongans and with Jacob Fatu. Now it's like Jacob Fatu's gotten too big for Solo.
I think,
and now he's bringing in the next big guy.
I think it really is just Solo needs a friend situation in this whole deal. It's going to blow up in whatever. And but I'm here for it to see where this goes. I'm loving the chat right now. I'm not, it's stuff that we talked about before. I'm not getting into it again on the show, but anyways, yeah. So yeah, that's what that is. But I think it was a cool introduction. I think we kind of alluded to him probably showing up there. I don't know. The internet has situation. So that was good. Dom and Penta was very good. I got a little clustery there, but It's Judgment Day. What do you expect? That's how he's going to lay his claim to the most, the best Intercontinental Champion ever. And I love when he's talking, they do the backstage promo with it. It says 15 minutes later after the WrestleMania win. It's like, I'm the greatest Intercontinental Champion ever. Then they put 15 minutes later. So it's like a SpongeBob throw at that point. No, that was very good. The ladies were good. We talked about no tag matches, right?
No, and only one woman's match.
Only one women's match. So, which was an Intercontinental title match. Holy shit. That's amazing. That's actually pretty amazing. So
yeah, and the night before was the return of Alexa Bliss tagging with Zelina Vega.
But I love that. I love that there is that. I love there's that movement there. So it's not just like, oh, nothing real is going to happen. I got tuned in the pay-per-view where maybe something's going to happen. Like we had a craziest TLC match a couple weeks ago on SmackDown. Again, they're making every show a big event, and that's why you have $132 for the nosebleeds.
Also, that's why they're no longer calling them pay-per-views.
Exactly.
Well, in addition,
that was a long time
they're not.
ago.
Yeah, I know, but
yeah,
the way they're booking it, they're no longer booking it as.
But they are still
filler.
Yeah.
Big things.
Yeah, like everything has a point. Everything is a storyline that is worth putting on a PLE pay-per-view.
Mm-hmm.
So they're not just like packing this thing with like, oh, we gotta get everybody on here, kind of thing. Well, they're here because it's a pay-per-view and this is where we're at with the story. It was like, no, just don't put a middle of story match in this.
Outside of like Money in the Bank and Survivor Series, you're not having. You don't have to have Hell in a Cell in October.
No. Yeah,
it isn't like, oh, we have a Hell in a Cell coming up. Okay, who we're going to put in Hell in a Cell? Yeah,
it really dilutes it at that point, right? Yeah. At least like you can build something. You have a path to War Games that you can build off of SummerSlam. We have 3 gimmicks a year, 3 solid scheduled gimmicks a year.
Yeah,
with Rumble, 4 Elimination Chamber, War Games, and Money in the Bank. So and you build around that. Those are your tent poles now, right?
Yeah.
And I'm curious to see what SummerSlam looks like now that we got 2 nights. I think SummerSlam's WrestleMania. I think it'll be WrestleMania. It's that level. It's not going to be like that weird, it's WrestleMania-ish, It is like, no, that's the other WrestleMania. Another town gets WrestleMania now every year. And gets the full.
Now, my other question is, are there going to be as many events around SummerSlam as there are around Mania?
Yes.
Okay. I
say yes. Also, think about this. Here's one of the cool things about what they're going to be doing at SummerSlam here. And presumably they did the same thing at WrestleMania. You have so much right there. I know it's like out of the city, but you have the arenas right there. It's like this is, go look at the map on MetLife Complex and see what's there. The American Dream Mall, which has an amusement park, in the world's largest like indoor wave pool. Which is patterned out for DreamWorks, so you have a giant Shrek and Panda hanging above it. Again, a Nickelodeon theme park, indoor. America's Dream is like is trying to be in America. What's the one that Nitro was at? Mall of America kind of situation.
Yeah, the Mall of America.
Like, so you have there's an indoor ski slope. You could go skiing in early August, the weekend of SummerSlam. Jess Flexor keeps trying to get me to go out there. And I was like, hey, let's go see him. Like, where are we going? He's like, New Jersey. I'm like, fuck that. I was like, okay, we'll go to Seven Springs. Okay. Bunny Hill it is. Ask Bradley how that went. Someday I'll release that footage. God, someday I'll release
French
that
fry
footage.
when you were supposed to pizza Sorg.
It's like a fever dream. Yeah. Oh, I had no way to tell me French fry and pizza. And I was like, I don't want to kill this kid that's in front of me, and I want to just crash out. Man, I don't. Not a good time to start. I'm afraid. Yeah, I don't think skiing's my thing, man. I don't know. I'm not. 2 nights SummerSlam. Yep.
Now, one other thing I'm really looking forward to are the matches between El Grande Americano and Penta.
Yes. I am here for that as well.
Yes.
Since he took out his brother at WrestleMania, a little bit of heat there. And it was outside interference, but you needed a way for Penta to lose. Absolutely.
His first loss.
Yes.
He had a way to lose, but not clean to Dom.
Yeah. Well, he didn't get pinned. Yeah, he didn't get pinned at Mania. Yeah. So it wasn't a good week. It wasn't a good weekend for the Lucha Bros. So no, they're doing the right pace with this stuff, you know. So I'm really appreciating that, actually. So they're not going crazy with it. They're not. Yeah, it's like Penta is building, Phoenix is building. He's a little newer, not quite as mystique and everything as Penta, and not as cool as Penta, but still kind of making his own. So we're having a holy we having lucha fights on both shows right now. It's just great to see Escobar getting into it, Andrade, you know, guys that we've loved in other places are going to do some cool stuff. So, and not just be like, okay, random lucha number 3, you know, like it has felt like for so long. So, you know, it's just, you know, I'm hoping they build them into the AAA show that's coming up.
Well, no, Tina mentioned that El Grande took the Speed title from Dragon Lee.
I heard about that too. Yeah. Can I watch Speed not on Twitter, by the way? Is there anywhere? I can't find it. Does somebody have a super cut of all the Speed episodes? Because I feel like I'd watch the last year of it in like an hour at this point.
You could.
You
could.
I just
but no, I think
can they archive them on Netflix or something?
Twitter. Well, I don't know. Maybe internationally, maybe. You know, if you happen to fly or float overseas to get the international feed of Netflix, maybe. But I think Twitter paid the WWE a boatload of money to be exclusive.
I guess so, but it's just like, how do I even find it? This is the problem. Oh, respect. Like, this is the problem I have with NWA Power. What if I want to watch the last month of episodes? How do I do that? I have to go through all your fucking tweets to find the video? Like, this isn't an NWA problem. This isn't a WWE Speed problem. This is a platform problem that I have. Okay, this is a technical problem that I have. This is a user experience problem I have. You know, okay, you tweeted it. Okay, I guess they embedded it here in this article over on WWE.com. But like, seriously, like if I go to, God, let's experiment here as a fucking user. I'm going to here, and maybe I'll be wrong, but I'm here. Okay, there's a stream from last night. Here's the thing about LFG tonight. Another show I should probably watch. Oh, hey, this match is happening on Raw on Netflix. Where's the Speed? Where's the Speed? There's NXT. There's this. There's this. There's everything going on here. When is Sabu? You know, when am I going to find WWE Speed? Is it going to happen when I go to media? Do you have any kind of like playlist or something going on here? No, I don't really see it here either.
Do they even have? Do they have playlist anymore on on Twitter?
Like lists here. Okay, they got WWE Speed. Here's a list. Okay, did somebody do this? I bet it's not WWE that did it. No, I don't have anything here either. You know, it's just like here's the top ones. Okay, today on WWE
right there.
Speed.
If you go up to the top, does that say WWE Speed right there?
Weekly
is that a separate?
Is that part of WWE?
What? So is that theirs? Is that official?
It is. Yeah, it looks like it is.
Well, let's see what this is. Okay. Oh, okay. Well, that's still. Oh, so that's
not new.
They have retweeted every WWE. So
that's why I'm thinking that's not.
How am I supposed to know
Speed.
this? This may or may not. It's not verified. Okay.
And it's the banner. Scroll up. The banner says it's going to debut on April 3rd.
Well, I mean, people forget about the banners all the time, even the big companies. Yeah. So you do.
Yeah, but it's not. It should be easier to find.
Yeah, it's just like it's not. I just think, you know, unless it is something.
Let's scroll through the people who have been released.
Oh yeah, seriously.
I saw Saucy there. I saw
Alba.
She's gone.
There's Katana's gone.
Casey's gone.
Katana,
Italian B-Fab. Okay, there you go. Dragon Lee from that. Like this isn't even updated with the. Yeah, this isn't even updated with.
Well, I don't think they're up to that.
This is February 28th, so this isn't even updated.
No.
Oh yeah.
So like again, this is where I'm at. This is where I'm at. Like this is completely. Like, and then like when I type WWE Speed, I get this fucking asshole over here
who just types it in.
Speed, who you know from WrestleMania when he was the Prime bottle, right? Or when he got knocked out of his shoes at WrestleMania. You know, it's like this is not what I want. This is not what I want.
No,
you know, this is the wrong Speed. You have a branding problem. You have WWE Speed, and then you hired this guy named Speed because he's on YouTube. He has a bunch of people, and now I'm fucking confused, and I'm losing my shit over here.
Sorg,
What?
calm down.
Oh, okay. The eagle calms all. Okay, on that note, guys, let's not this week because we are on Sunday and they are closed early because it's Sunday. Go to church, call your mom. Supporting Pittsburgh podcasting with the perfect pepperoni pizza, Slice on Broadway. Go check it out. Our friends right up the road here. It was good to see them last night. It just had a really, really, really insanely small thing for the pay-per-view last night. I didn't want to deal with large groups. Let's just put it that way. But no, we did get the thing. I felt bad. Like, I don't, you guys know if you come to the pay-per-view, but if you're ever at the studio, like we're up here up front and it's like kind of long back, and then like there's a room in the back where we have a big TV that we watch the pay-per-view, so we just hide back there basically, right? And this guy, like, whenever we order slice, they just walk right in all the way to the back of the studio and through the offices. like, hey guys, I'm like, hey, sorry, I ordered it on toast because I had like points and stuff I wanted to cash in, and I didn't know if they would deliver it, so I was like, hey, just do contactless at the front door. I don't want to have to deal with the newbie, And then the guy's like, hey, this is Brian for Slice. Is this still contact real? If not, I'm like, I'll be right out, brother. You want to come watch the pay-per-view? So I just love it. I love those guys down there. It's good to see them every week, and go look at their award, best cheese pizza in the world. They went to Vegas for that shit. So there you go. Guys, what'd you learn from wrestling this week?
Dave, you go first.
Okay. I learned that, I hate to say it, the first thing that's popping in my head is Shotzi's comment about
what are these?
Next time you'll see me, I'll be wrestling for more than 3 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
Because there's a lot of the people, I understand they didn't have anything to do with them per se. They didn't. We don't have any storylines for you, pal. But some of the people were like on TV recently, and you're like, you have 50 bazillion shows. I know you're bringing people up and everything else. So it's going to have things going on, but like they didn't renew Shotzi and they let other people go, and it's like kind of and at least now there's a chance that yes, if someone wants to pick up Shotzi, if someone wants to pick up Chance and Carter, if someone wants to pick up, and it would shock me if someone doesn't, Sonya Deville, Daria, if she wants to stay in wrestling, hopefully there's other places that once their 60 days are over, they can say, okay, here we go. So, that and watching LFG, there is, I think T-Pain, I think she goes by, or T-Nasty. It's Samoan ancestry, or I don't know if she's from Samoa. But looking at her, very impressive physically. And the way WWE's going, she looks Samoan. Throw her on the bloodline.
Okay.
Put her in the bloodline eventually. If you look at her, she is very big, very powerful looking. And yeah, you could see her going into NXT and then going up in a couple years and then, version 4 of the bloodline.
Yeah. I think that's not what I learned, but I've been thinking about this with the releases. Yeah, so it's kind of what I learned. I won't put this as what I learned. There's a Nick Khan comment of like, yeah, we don't need everybody on the roster if we're not doing anything with them. Okay. You have a lot of things coming up between your Evolve, NXT, WWID, LFG, and I'm sure there's other things I'm not thinking of. So you have a lot of influx of talent. You don't have time on the shows, despite all these shows with NXT, Raw, and SmackDown. There's no longer that time to give somebody to develop anymore into a character in front of people on that stage, right? You have to be finished when you show up to Monday or Friday at this point.
Yeah.
You guys can play with NXT, but even to that point, that's why Evolve is happening, right? That's why LFG is happening. You're creating these people on different platforms. they're less consequential, or at least like on LFG, it's more a reality show, right? So again, I haven't watched an episode of LFG yet. Just I'm at my capacity right now with what I'm trying to watch. And it's WWE trying to take all the air out of the room and say, dude, we have this over here. Why would you even go somewhere else? Kind of thing. But now they're doing it in Mexico, honestly. So I think what you will have, and this is actually going to be a positive for everybody else, because there's a bunch of people out there. You will find, I think, no less than one person. That's a weird statement. No less than one person. At least one person out of the last group will pop up on an AEW, TNA, and fucking skyrocket.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? And do something like become, I don't know, I don't want to say a Tony Storm, but like something of that vein. They will find their thing on the next level by going to one of these other companies.
Yeah.
Where
or even what they did with Ricochet.
Yeah, exactly.
It's like
absolutely.
Ricochet was, I'm a happy guy who does flippy stuff, to a complete switch in character, and he's doing so great at
Absolutely. Like all that kind of stuff. Like, again, I think it's just the environments and the people on WWE doing great are doing bonkers, right? I'm not going to say it's impossible to break through. Look at Jacob Fatu. Look at LA Knight over the last couple of years, right? But man, that's going to be harder. That's going to be so much harder to find those people. And we are going to be, just like everybody's scratching their heads and say Tony fumbled with Ricky Saints coming over and Ethan Page. Well, you can say the same thing with Ricochet coming over to AEW and being amazing. Okay, there's Shane Strickland, like all those guys. So you can't. I don't think you can fault the companies in this thing. You know what I mean? Like they're doing really great, but they're doing the best they can with what they have and what they can see and what they can forecast of what these people are providing in their environment. This is very environmental. I flourish in an environment that I created. I do not flourish in an environment somebody else created. And typically, like it's something I'm identifying when I'm doing my work. So I cannot go to. I think I would want to freaking kill myself if I shouldn't say that because I'll just hit the algorithm. If I was on a movie set, if I was doing corporate videos exclusively for one company, you know what I mean? Like I'm wearing this hat today, and I remember the conversation I had with them, and I was just like, you gotta be interested. You gotta do something that makes me really want to work for you versus what I'm doing right now. Is where I'm at. It's I'm not desperate for money or anything, I'm not doing amazing, but like I'm okay, so I think that's it. Like these are fucking artists, you know what I mean? These are creators. These are physical creators, and they need to be nurtured and feel like they're nurtured to create the next thing, and have a chance to deliver and create something amazing, and one environment versus the other is not going to work for them. So, and at least there's options now, and that's very cool. Because otherwise you'll be like, whatever, sir, I'll do it, and fuck it. I'll learn French on this car ride here or whatever that was, or Russian, I think it was, or accents and things like that. So anyways, that's my diatribe there. I'm really tired. From the chat real quick. I know one of you still has to go here, but from the chat real quick, let me get it before I forget. Oh no, I'm talking over here. Matt Birch says, I learned that the storyline that I'm most excited to see in wrestling right now is what's going on between Santos Escobar, Angel, and Berto. I'm excited for their hair. There's some wonderful quaffs going on over there. What I've learned from Tina in Seattle, what I've learned in New Japan Pro Wrestling is cooking right now. Resurgence was a great show. New Women's Strong Champion and Best of the Super Juniors has been good, and Gabe Kidd is a menace. Oh my God, Gabe Kidd, yes. So that is amazing. So Podnar, I think you still have to go.
No,
that was
Rizz has to go.
Rizz posed to you, so I absorbed that as Rizz's to pick. Rizz, go.
I believe this happened this week.
Okay
I learned that Hulk Hogan doesn't know anyone in professional wrestling. Not one name.
And how did he prove this, Rizz?
He called Shelton Benjamin Shelton.
Okay, thank you for that.
On the Pat McAfee show, by the way.
Yeah, he did. Yeah, he did. Okay, I saw that screen grab.
And then everybody
Confused me, but
in that circle was like, dude, shut the fuck up. Like you like MVP did one where he's on the airplane, and he goes, "I'm sitting right next to Benjamin Shelton." Like, oh,
was he like sleeping or something on the plane?
oh no, he was just staring at him.
I love
Unimpressed.
Shelton doesn't say much, but I just love when like shit's happening around him. He just gives this like "you motherfucker" look. You know, he has the best one. Shit. Anyways, was that it?
That was it.
Okay, guys, thank you so much.
Just another reason to say fuck Hulk Hogan.
We don't have to. We don't have to relitigate that situation. Again, no show this Tuesday. We will be back at least for 2 weeks on a regular time. So look forward to that. And then June gets wonky again. So I think we'll have 2 live shows in June if my math is right on there. So we're going to continue to do things. We'll continue to do some awesome things for you guys, and look forward to that. And hey, this is when we get creative, and sometimes it gets interesting. Remember when we just like watched old interviews and reacted to them, Rizz, over whenever that was, Christmas or something, maybe? I don't know. When did I? Oh, I had that crazy 2 weeks where I had to travel, and then I put a show out, and somebody called me at 2 a.m. in Phoenix, which means it was like 4 a.m. here, because they were mad about the show I put out. So you know what it is? Who knows?
Who knows?
Who knows? So I don't have to say. I don't know what to say. It could be anything. But anyways, yeah. So God, the stories. Guys, thank you so much. This has been your Wrestling Mayhem Show. Go check out the Top Rope Tabletop, of course, from this past week. It's on IndieWrestling.network without any commercials or anything. I believe that's posted. I'm going to double check that right now, probably, and let people know about that. And of course, it's on the YouTube. And of course, these Thursday night fights we got going on. We got some new blood over on Thursday night fights on behind the production. So I'm excited to see how that turns out. Get some new people on the Switch and the cameras and things like that. It's one guy's going to show up that I haven't met yet, actually, because I'm too busy. So we're going to see how that goes. And again, RWA will be this Saturday. Is their big show? I can't remember. I honestly, off the top of my head, I cannot remember the big matches. And I feel like I'm doing them a disservice for this. Rizz will be there. What's important is Rizz will be there. Okay.
There's going to be a tag match with Super Hentai and John McChesney and
just announced
versus J-Rock and Salvador, and also Super
Oprah is going to be there. It doesn't matter who they're facing. Super Oprah is going to be there, and RWA. I think we had Super Oprah like 10 years ago. And what Rizz, was that you saying last time I saw Super Oprah? They had barbed wire in their arm.
Yep.
Yeah. So
deep in there. Also, an RWA No Limit title match.
I thought it was regional now.
Whatever. No, it's No Limits.
Is this still No Limits? No, I thought that was a PA regional. Or was that another belt?
But this is Gianni's belt.
Okay.
This is Gianni Michael Enrico versus
Austin Blaze.
Austin Blaze.
Yes.
Who is one of the top wrestlers in RWA.
Austin Blaze is a surprising breakout actually in RWA. Go check out their matches on their YouTube page. I think we have a couple up there on the freebies. Or go subscribe, so you can get all that kind of stuff.
The Mean Girl.
The Mean Girl. Pagasa, and of course we had Ava Brooks this past week, talked about taking on Pagasa. Mm-hmm. Go check out this past episode. Great fun conversation with Ava Brooks and Lexus Sin that will probably still get me in trouble. I'm sure I got a call coming soon from somebody.
Also, we're not talking about the match that you even pointed out at one point. Christian Argento versus Mikey Montgomery.
Mm-hmm. Where's the fuck is the graphic for that one?
It's all the way down. Like I'm working on It's from the 24th.
The former Mambo, yeah, it's not coming up in their photos for some reason. The former Mambo Italiano, who's doing some amazing stuff up at NWA Exodus, will take on a Mikey Montgomery. That's very, very cool. So I'm glad to see that going on there. So also, I am loving the team of Cristiano and Gianni, Michael, and Rico that happened at Taco Mania. You will have to go check out Enjoy Wrestling's Patreon page in order to check that out. So that's been going. I know some clips have been going around and stuff too. So that's really cool.
Yes, I'll be there.
And Rizz will be there.
$20 for an autograph.
Here you go. $50 for a hug.
Yeah.
There you go. Rizz is so that's what Rizz is doing. And then David Podnar, iPhoneography podcast.
Yep. Just hanging around doing stuff.
I'm just
This
bouncing
is
around,
our
he
off
says.
week, so
What's that?
check out their last episode.
There you go. There you go. Guys, thank you so much. God, I'm so tired. We'll see you guys next time. Mayhem out.
Stay off.
Just wait. Wait for the perfect time, then attack. Don't give up what you want, take it back. Wait for the perfect time, then attack. Do what you
This show is a member of the Sorgatron Media Podcast Network. Find out more at sorgatronmedia.com.